Gorgeous roses. I mean, they're like a fiery orange. They are spectacular. These are called your Maria Stern roses. And if you've ever wanted to grow roses, I know I talked to Rochelle about it. Rochelle's like, this is the one you want to buy. Fragrance like no other, right? It's almost like a spicy rose scent, but very easy to grow, this particular one, right? Because they are more resistant to diseases, right, Rochelle?
Yes, yes. This is a rose that has been around for decades. I think since like the 50s or 60s. This is one of those classic roses that has just stood the test of time. It's a hybrid tea rose. It is going to smell amazing. That is why you grow, you know, a lot of roses, is because they just smell so good. And this orange is just gorgeous. This is different from our mini roses, which we're going to have in a little bit, but the mini roses are spray roses, so they're smaller and you get lots of roses on each stem, whereas this, you get the much bigger bloom. They smell. The mini roses don't really smell. They get that big bloom, the classic, just gorgeous rose.
Beautiful.
And this is just really a great rose because it has been bred to not have all of the troubles that you have with, you know, a lot of roses with spot and blight and all that kind of stuff. But I want to show you how it's going to come. This one is looking a little, this is a little bigger than I think, not bigger in the sense, but it needs to actually be trimmed back. But they're going to come bare root. And what you see here is basically what you're going to get. It will have the roots that go underground, and it'll have the top part. It won't probably have any leaves, or maybe you might see a little bit of, actually, I see a few little buds here. So there's a lot of life in this. So don't pull this out and be like, what is going on? That is a mistake. This is the best way to start roses. These roses are already a few years old. They have extensive root systems, and this is the best way to get a rose established very quickly in your yard. So they're going to come in a plastic bag. If you can't get it into the ground right away, leave it in the plastic until you can get it in the ground. That'll hold that moisture in. But then whether you want to plant it in a container or in the ground, by the way, these are hardy all the way down to, I believe, zone 4. So, you know, these are great throughout the country. Basically, what you're going to want to do, dig your hole. I've got a container here. It's kind of like a hole. You're going to dig your hole nice and wide. Make sure it's plenty wide enough for this full root system. But you see how there's like a little cone here? It's kind of like they come out here. You just want to like put the soil right up in here.
Oh, I see.
Before you plant it out and kind of, you know, get the root right in there. You just want to make really good contact with the soil. And this will establish very quickly. You'll get growth that first year. You'll get blooms the first year. These are, I just love this because you're not getting a baby rose. You're getting a couple years old rose. Right to your house, which, you know, just establishes so much quicker and gives you that, you know, wow factor so much quicker. So, don't worry about the bare root. The bare root is the best. That's the way all the, you know, rosarians of the world recommend. It really is.
I've gone, you've seen them, right? Maybe you've gone to your big box stores and they look just like that. And they're just, you know, and they don't hold your hand. They don't give you the guarantees. It's like you buy it and you're on your own, buddy, right? But here, Leaf and Petal really, from their network of growers, they select the very best quality. This one is disease and pest resistant. And then look at the color. I mean, this has got to be one of my favorite colors. It's like a fiery orange. They are incredibly fragrant, you guys. And then look at the color of the leaves, right? So you get that big, beautiful backdrop, makes the roses stand out even more. If you want these, and you can do it, definitely pick up more than one because you are gonna fall in love with these. I'm looking at them in person and I am like, every single item in the show, I'm like, I need that. I want that, right? I mean, there's nothing like it. These are new here. 787-800 is your item number. And by the way, you can't buy a bouquet of roses for this price. They will send it to you when it's ready to be potted, so no thinking, no overthinking. And I gotta tell you, I have a sweet friend in Wisconsin, Miss Judy, sent me for my birthday last year. Actually, it was a couple of years ago, a potted rose tree. Can I just tell you, nobody's ever sent me like a tree or a bush or a shrub for my birthday. It's been one of the things that has brought me most joy ever, because every time it blooms, I'm like, oh my gosh, Judy's roses, look how pretty they are. I take pictures of it all the time, and every time they bloom, I'm still taking pictures, right? I mean, it never gets old. So please think about the people you love today. All Leaf and Petal, free shipping and handling. Maybe you want to send this to, you know, a best friend or somebody that moved into their first home as a home warming gift. I mean, cheaper than a bottle of wine, Rochelle, and you will enjoy this year after year after year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know when I was little, my mom is a big gardener, so it runs in the family. My sister and I, we would go with my dad and we would pick out bare root roses for my mom for every Mother's Day. And then when I was in high school, we moved. We moved like
Oh.
10 blocks down the street, right? Like it wasn't very far. And because we didn't move very far, we had to dig up every single one of those roses and move it from her old garden
Oh my
to her new garden
God.
because they meant so much to her. They really were so sentimental. They were these gifts over the years, and they last forever. They established, she just had this beautiful rose garden that we had created for her bit by bit as we were growing up, giving her a different rose, a different color, a different scent. And that kind of collection is really meaningful. So you can get somebody started with that, or even if they only have space for one, this is great in a container. This will grow to the size that it really is, has the space for. So the other thing I want to say, though, is we've got these with the sensational lavender. There is no more classic combination of plants in the garden than roses with lavender. So if you're thinking about the roses, I highly recommend the combination. They smell amazing together, but they grow in the same way. The lavender is a perfect thing to surround the roses with. The two are, they go together. They go together.
See?
I mean, look at that right
like
there on the
waffles and
stage.
syrup or peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to come up with something. They go together like
right?
what? I don't
like
know. But
cookies and
they
milk.
are.
Like, right? We can come up with a million combinations. You have to get these roses. I promise you, they are spectacular. And the fragrance, unbelievable, like a spicy rosy scent as well. So $17.96 is our price today. Remember, everything's on 5 Flex. That's less than $4 on any debit or credit card. So I know a lot of you are picking up more than one of these bare roses. Moving on to the lilies. I